welcome back to For Positive Hoof. Today we're going to be learning about poultry and eggs. So, the kingdom of poultry is Animalia, phylum Chordata, and subphylum Vertebrata. This means that, like animals, this means that, but they have like spinal cord. They have, I don't know, this one's the vertebrates. And then, fun fact, the class is aves, which is like birds, kind of. And domestication is when it's genetically altered birds. This is for birds. Through, yeah, selective breeding for human purpose. So in domestication, there's 4 requirements to be domesticated. The first one is tolerate presence of humans. The next one is bred in captivity. Third is thrive in confinement. And the fourth is provide a benefit fit to humans. So, so some cool facts, I guess we'll call it, is the ancestor of commercial poultry, a red jungle fowl, which originated in Southeast Asia. I guess it's not the capital. Okay, so the production for poultry is eggs, focus on eggs and meat. Let's just make this smaller so I can keep writing. There are some fun facts, and then, so the main production, oh, I already said that. Main production can be table eggs, broilers, which are birds bred for meat, turkeys, meat, bred for meat, no eggs, and ducks, mostly meat, and quail or fowls. So some other fun facts is white and brown eggs purely driven by genetics. The main choice of meat in the USA is white meat, but we're in Canada. But I guess the US influences a lot, even though we have supply management. But anyway, um, boilers are always juvenile. This is really sad. So boilers always like juvenile, so they didn't mature yet. They're still kids when contributing to. So that's sad when they're killed. Um, and so they always it says and quails and fallows of a small niche market. Okay, that's really cool. But now you may be wondering, oops, let's do that again. Let's just move this to the side. Yeah, what happened to my Look at this, I don't want this Okay, what does it say? Um, I need my pen. Here we go. Okay, how are they regulated? How are they regulated? So this is called supply management. Supply, yay, management. So this is a really cool, it's a integrated, what it is, integrated production system to, or systems to secure the supply chain, which is, at my snipping tool thingy. Oh well, okay, so the supply chain is breeders make chicks, chicks turn into hens and lay eggs or chicks grow to produce meat. So breeder flocks will replenish egg layers, and so breeder flocks will replenish egg layers, and breeder flocks are owned by genetic companies and sell lines to producers. So what this means, so breeder flocks, like the flock of birds that are for breeding chicks, they're owned by, well, yeah, genetic companies, and they'll sell like the the chicks, like they hatch at a hatchery, and then they'll sell the chicks to to um to farms, and the farms will the farms will grow them, and but we also need breeders to make the breeders because equals genetics. Okay, and here is some Canadian. Oops. Yes, I lost it. Here's some Canadian. No, back. Here we go. So Canadian history, kind of about chickens. This is I always forget my pen. So Canadian chicken history pre to post World War II. Okay, so this is before World War II. It was local. Farmers got eggs. Well, you could buy eggs from farmer markets and local shops. It's the only way you could really buy eggs. And these farmers would make would have farms that had both lines of meat and eggs, but they had limited genetics because they were only focused on pure lines. Um, so then there's some things, inheritance was also a big part of it, but well, they had some new and old different ways that, well, like some, um, like the Mendelian, that's we know we know that's true, and that influenced it. But um, but there's also some false things. But then after World War II, so there was this guy named Don Shavel, and he returned from war. He what happened to my pen? Reestablished his small breeder farms, and I believe that they had like 300 and some like number, like 360, 250 something. And then he went to war, and then it went all down to one farm. And then when he came back, he reestablished it. But he, but when he, um, instead of his like small farms, he built a global chicken breeding. So it all kind of organization for it all kind of revolves around him. The history. Boiler strings. His goal was to improve animal production systems and and also after World War II was really when animal welfare became something that we should care about. Well, we should always have cared about it, but that's when it became something that humans acknowledge, kind of. So his start was 288 was a small framed leghorn hen developed. So he made his by Don Shavel. So it was this new kind of breed, and it was a strain cross that laid a lot more eggs than most chickens. So the drive was to produce more food at a lower cost for humans. And yeah, and this guy became international, set a global standing for breed. Or just say a shaver globally famous. Okay, and then we have advancements. Oh yeah, here's five. Okay, we'll get there. Um, Now we have some advancements. So the advancements was nutrition and health. So basically, and nutrition. So there's females and they prepare and design diets that have what birds need. This is what the farmers would feed their chickens. In health, we have a big thing in health is biosecurity. And things as vaccines, cleaning, or disinfection. Disinfection. Also, antibiotics was a big one. There's also overuse of that. Okay, let's make this a bit smaller. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wait, I guess I can stay. Okay. No, go back. Okay, I can stay. That's fine there. Okay. So, no. Now we have phenotypes. So phenotypes are like the physical. So phenotypes are physical characteristics, physical traits, and genotype is genetic traits. And well, yes, environment is the environment you grew up in, which is self-explanatory. But oh, I got a text message. Oh, mama. Sorry. Environment is self-explanatory. Okay, so there's a selection based on phenotypes, and it depends on the environment. So let's say you want, well, okay, so this, for example, selection based on phenotypes depends on the environment. So if you had like a group of birds had lots of feathers, you'd want that in a cold climate, like northern, well, I guess it's Canada in the winter. But if you had a lot of ones, well, this is just an example, that like a lot of feathers down south in like the US, well, that wouldn't make much sense in Florida because it's really hot. Or like same thing with housing things. So genetic selections also give potential. And yes, housing. Farmers entrepreneurs. Became became entrepreneurs. So every aspect of vertical integration must be coordinated. So vertical integration. Yeah, this is a big word. And what this vertical integration is, basically it allows how much more? Okay, just a little bit more. For this video. So it basically allows the industry to maintain strict biosecurity measures, vaccination programs, and testing for bacteria, and this is breeder farms and hatcheries. And hatcheries. Okay. and different stages. Can't really read that, sorry. Different stages of production are combined under a single ownership, leading to improved technology, larger flock sizes, and better health programs. Sorry, and larger flock sizes and better health. I'm very confused. Oh, programs. Programs. Okay, now we have supply management. Okay. Supply management is quite a simple topic, but vertical integration just allows, oh, just biosecurity measures. Okay, that's quite simple. Vertical integration, biosecurity measures. Yay. Okay, that's quite easy. Now supply management. So poultry is supply managed. This means supply is controlled from farmers to retailers, much like, well, almost exactly the same as, not exactly the same, but much like dairy and milk, because also they have quota. Well, we didn't get quota yet, but um, so the goal of this goal is to maintain and supply for Canada. Yay. Okay, so authorized by the 1972 Farm Products Agency Act. So there's egg farms of Canada, turkey farms of Canada, chicken farms of Canada, Canadian Hatching Egg Producers, Canadian Dairy Commission. So why is there dairy in eggs? Anyway, why supply management? So they're managed to meet the demand of our market. It controls how much is produced and by who, controls imports and exports, controls price, well, it, that doesn't control this, but, well, kind of, like, controls, like, the security and stability. It benefits farmers and customers. Security, stability, but a drawback is that limited competition for worldwide. Yeah, now it gets to quota. Quota. So quota, 1 hen equals 1 unit of quota, but less than 500 hens in a flock does not require quota. Each hen, each hen has to lay 306 eggs per year, which is good because one cycle in an egg, an egg in a chicken, which is about a year, makes on average 340 eggs. This is just okay. In Quote, farmers are regulated by the Code of Practice, aka the Chicken Bible. So quote this very beautiful Code of Practice, aka Chicken Bible. That's beautiful. And it's committed to phase out, oh yes, wants to phase out standard cages and instead replaced it with enriched, yes, colony system cage systems, free run, like open floor, and evilly and free range, which is open to outdoors. Yay. Okay, let's move this. Hello. Thank you. Thank you very much, computer. It's a very kind computer. Okay, why isn't this working? There we go. Okay, now don't worry, a little bit more. Production comparison USA. The US just makes 11 more times more us than us. But now we have some cool broiler facts. Broiler production in Canada. So the Canadian, it says, what is it? CFC is Canadian, is Chicken Farmers of Canada. So the Chicken Farmers Canada represents about 2,800 farmers across Canada. And this is 1.3 billion tons, which is broilers of meat produced in 2022. Supply managed. But in the meat industry, its quota is assigned in kilograms and not eggs. Number of eggs, because kilograms is how can you have eggs producing meat? Um, and the industry. So the industry is segmented into hatching eggs, which are broiler ladles, and hatcheries, and growers. Growers are chicken producers, which are some integrated. Okay, what happens? There's this cool little thing of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a cool step. So first is primary breeders. Then it goes to breeder hatchery. Then it goes to breeder farms, hatcheries, broiler, growers, and then processing. Okay, it's very sad, but I guess we have to take this in agriculture. Okay, so let's go through these three things. We're gonna go through breeder farms, hatcheries, and broiler farms slash growers. Okay, so breeder farms raise the parent stock. Broiler breeders breeding stocks. So natural mating. This uses natural mating, unlike turkeys. So produces fertile hatching eggs, and offspring become broilers for consumption. Then there's hatcheries. Where are we gonna put this? So they hatch, it's specialized farm to hatch fertile eggs from breeder farms. And the incubate and hatch deliver. And we have broiler farms, which is newly hatched chickens are transported. Oh yeah, so chicks